Okay, my friends, Roger, Mudfossil University. In a moment, we're going to go through what does cause sinkholes and what experts believe. And this is Tom Backhouse. He's apparently an English geologist, and he's an expert in sinkholes. Now, I have some evidence to present as well. This is a science channel. All right, get ready. This is going to be the presentation on the sinkholes. Okay, my friends, Roger, Mudfossil University, we got us a serious issue. Now, this is a science channel, and they're talking about sinkholes. I've been following this for quite a long time. Now, listen to this.
Cutting-edge technology and GPS data to track movement in the ground. Tom is able to predict the location of future sinkhole hotspots.
This orange triangle here is the sinkhole that opened up, and this area of blue here are showing several centimetres of downward movement. And if I zoom out, you can see that there are several other areas around Maidstone and Barming where there has been ground movement in the last couple of months.
Each of these blue patches indicates a possible sinkhole danger zone.
We have 9 million data points that we pick up every single week, and we're constantly monitoring it, not just here in Barming and Maidstone, but all across the country.
All right, they're having terrible problems with sinkholes, as everywhere is. And I'm pretty sure I understand exactly what's going on. I have been following this for a very long time. Now, he's a sinkhole expert, and he in a lot of cases, I agree exactly what he's saying. A lot of times, there's pipe damage and there's water movement under there where water normally would be flowing, and it creates erosion, absolutely. There's cave-ins from mining that are under all of these places, absolutely. But there's other things too. Okay, if you go back to 2015, I did a whole series of videos about how desperately in trouble the Earth is. And I ended up speaking with the Russians about their problem in, I forget where it was, I can't remember the name, but it's a peninsula that is collapsing because of the permafrost is letting go, and they covered all of these gigantic sinkholes, which I believe is a body part, and I believe these little balls are literally arterial entries into what was once at least a living creature. And they're bubbling out of here, showing up as these balls. And I've shown, well, here, look up above here. This is my microscope. I have a lung here, and I believe that's from a lung, what I just showed you in Russia. Now, look at what I'm going to zoom in. What we're looking at here is the surface of the lung, and I'll show you the lung in a second. Don't get upset. Now, we're going to zoom in to down in here, and I will show you the dragon balls, which they call them. You see those all those little spots? That's where the blood goes in and out. You see it? That's where blood goes in and out. And these balls down here are being pushed out instead of going in. The one up above is dried out, so they're literally going inside, if you can understand what you're looking at. They look like they're bumping out, and some of them are. Some of them are bumping out, you see. But most of them are going in. All the red ones are going in. The black ones, I guess, are the ones that are going out. See the red ones? Those are, excuse me, going in. The other ones might be going in too. It's hard to see perfectly. But that's a lung, and so is that. And it's getting worse and worse and worse all around the world. Now, what are we going to do about it? I don't know. Okay, so now we need our anatomist, biologist, doctor, somebody. Anybody that understands biology understands that that is a bundle of fibers, either they're muscle or they are tendon, and these are absolutely tendon. That's another, I believe, tendinous bundle. That round part at the bottom is the tendon anthesis. Let's find somebody that's in the medical industry to talk to me about this. And now let's find somebody that understands the chemistry of the biology to talk to me about this. This is from the European Space Agency. They put the Philae lander on there, and they took samples of what was coming off in these particles and what was being emitted from this comet. Iron, FeO2, FeO3 all over the place. That's blood. Sodium, silicon, carbon, hydrogen, methanes. I mean, this is all, it's 100% biology. 100%. 100%. That's not just accidental dust. And when it comes out of these comas, let's talk to somebody that understands some of the atomic physics of light and the breakdown of molecules when they are excited. All right, let's get the anatomists, the biologists, the physicists, the molecular people. What is shooting out of there is, that's not dust blowing off. You see it's going this way, this way, this way, that way, this way, up, 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 out, out this way, every different direction. The direction it's shooting is because the sunlight, as it comes very close to the sun into the region where there's a lot of push of electrons, because that's all it is. Sunlight is push of electrons, and they're in the form of photons primarily, which is a box of electrons. An electron is primarily like that. The electrons burn things, these bounce off things and give a lot of light. Now, they're both coming like crazy. That's what happens as the sun glows. I mean, obviously, it's insane to think that there's a vacuum in space. Anyway, it cooks these things off, and they give off vapors. Now, the vapor is not like combustion. There's not enough oxygen to do the bonding that's necessary to turn flames on, basically, until you get into an atmosphere that has. But anyway, you see these little spikes? Get your anatomist. That's what holds a tendon into a muscle or a bone or whatever. And these are all the little blood vessels that shoot out to service the muscles and the tendons that surround it. All right, this is 67P again. You see it shooting off in every different direction. That's not scrubbing through like dust blowing off. That appears to me to be a blood vessel, and that appears, you know, the vein and artery. I can't prove that. This is the anthesis, and this is the stalk coming out. If you can see up above here, these are literally the tendon fibrils. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's how I'm taking this. And I'll show you what a tendon looks like. And this looks basically to me like an Achilles tendon. And this would have been all of the fibers coming out, but it's snapped here, which they do. This is what they call abrupt transition. And these are, you see the little bumps here? I hope you can see those, because they make it pretty obvious what that thing is. Well, I hope it's visible. Anyway. Let's go forward on this. All right, I just showed you the top of the tendon there. This is what it is. These are the tendon fibrils. They come up and they all have to move independent. So there's a little bit of fasciae around each one of them, all the way down to the tiniest little fibers. These are collagen fibrils. And all of this stuff can be seen. It really can literally be seen. I'll show it to you. All right, this is Achilles tendon. You see the little spiky things? That's what holds the anchor in, and these are the fibers, and they break at abrupt transition. I believe that's one right there. But they will break, and you'll see these little fiber bundles. You remember there's one fiber bundle coming out, and then there's a whole batch of a big stalk coming up? I believe that's pretty much what you're seeing here. All right, go and look at any one of these tendon, like Devil's Tower. Just go look at it and you'll see the top has a wrinkle zone, and these tendon fibrils, you see all the tendon fibrils, calcaneus bone. There's a couple little heel spots on that one at Devil's Tower, and then you see all the wrinkle zone at the top, and it's flat across, just like this. They break an abrupt transition. I've studied these extremely well. And you can see the blood vessels at the top. There's no mystery here. All right, I believe that is Devil's Tower, and that is the wrinkle zone. And there is a little bit of blood there coming down. You see the color here? These are the tendon fibrils. They're CaCO3, calcium carbonates. I believe there's a little more blood coming down here. A little more blood coming down here. Very little blood in tendons. Very little blood. And you see all the little tendon fibrils wrinkling around the ankle. That's just the way it works. And that is the wrinkle zone. And they break flat as a pancake across the top. It's an abrupt transition. And you saw it on the anatomical model, I believe, so I'm just going to probably have to leave it about in this area. This is what I find extremely interesting. Not necessarily that this is a gigantic, enormous tendon. The earth is made out of creatures, case closed. That doesn't you know, cause me to be totally alarmed anymore, but this does. Nobody cares about this. That's a gigantic tendon. This machine, you see these ripples here, and this ripple here, and ripple here, and these depth of these tracks laid in here. This machine was designed to mine this dead, wet tendon, and they cut these slabs using some kind of technique, and they moved them. How they did, I don't know, but they were obviously wet when they cut them, because this sunk in. No question whatsoever they were wet. No question whatsoever they are biological, and they can be tested today. So I don't care who. So you can go test this right now. So don't tell me it's not real. And they took these and they put them in walls in the back, and I'll show you that right now. I think I showed you the anatomical texture of the tendon straps. This is calcium carbonates or basalt, whatever you want to call it. It's got the little bloody places here and there. All right. I know you saw that the tendon, anatomical tendon, actual tendon. This is blood. This is the tendon. This may even be an abrupt transition. I don't know. It looks like it to me. But they cut these slabs off of here, and they moved them back here to make these walls. Now, I could tell you an absolute fact that this is biological, because wait till you see the walls that I discovered that are really just completely decaying from, you know, rotting. You see that? That's how they cut them, and they just chunked them up and put them back here. Now, I don't know whether they sculpted them and just sort of made it like this and that to make it sort of cute, because I saw some that are just fabulous looking. This is a mess. Now, maybe they let beginners play around here, because there are all these walls. I think to myself, why are they making all these crazy walls? What is all this mess for? I could never think of it. I think this was where they teach the young ones how to make the walls. That's all I could think of. That's a disaster. They'd probably be, that guy probably in big trouble. Unless, like I say, maybe they just use the scraps and they said, use the scraps and teach them how to do it. That's what I would have done. All right, this is either in Peru or Bolivia or somewhere, but this is tendon. Look, the kids are sliding on it. Now, that is actually bloody tissue that would normally have been like a sheath that surrounded these so they could slide back and forth among themselves. And you see it all over the place. And this is limestone, CaCO3, or basalt, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you call it, but it came from a tendon. Now, they will petrify and solidify in different conditions and become different material, starting from the exact same beginning. If they are in with a kidney or a liver or a heart or a lung or bile or digestive juices or any of that kind of stuff, it has invasive properties that can change the actual material from being like this whitish looking stuff to black. Depends on what invades it. I pretty well understand it now. I think I got it pretty well going on here. So I would like to engage with somebody that really wants to understand it, because I think we can get pretty close now. But obviously the issue is the earth is constructed of creatures. Now we've got a whole new set of thinking to do. Not just rocks and geology. That's just the basic. Whoa, that's the basic. Because I'm going to tell you, we're going to get to the very end of this story soon. Okay, as I think I said before, I need a historian as well as all of the rest. I need somebody that knows the ancient texts. I need somebody that understands religions, because trust me, this is not Darwinism anymore, my friend. And Jesus himself spoke some sayings that Didymus Judas Thomas recorded, who was doubting Thomas. He recorded 113 sayings. Some of them are extremely strange, I got to be honest with you. But this is supposedly the secret words right out of Jesus Christ's mouth. Now, as far as my historical research goes, he was a historical figure. All of these things were pretty well documented and have carried on for a very long time. Altered, yes. Let us see what we can decipher. One of the things that I can decipher is that he said, Jesus said, those who seek should not stop seeking until they find, and when they find, they will be very disturbed, and when they are disturbed, they will marvel and will reign over all, and after they have reigned, they will rest. Now, apparently, I'm now feeling, and I was never a big religious guy, but now I'm feeling that this is our test on earth, and if you miss this test, you're screwed. Where was it, 56 or something, 53, 56. Yeah, whoever comes to, Jesus said, whoever has come to know the world has discovered a carcass. Absolutely. Whoever has discovered a carcass of that person, the world is not worthy. And then number 80, he reiterates it again. Jesus said, whoever has come to know the world has discovered the body, and whoever has discovered the body of that one, the world is not worthy. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know about this worthy part, because I'm not very worthy of anything, but I can tell you this is a body, and it is a carcass, and it is 100% biological. I don't care what anybody says. You listen to the geologists, good for you. All right, I'm just going to finish it up with this. And I haven't even read this yet, but I just searched for Science versus Religion, and here it is. American Humanist Association, advocating progressive values, equality for humanists, atheists, and free thinkers. Well, let's see. It says, is the war between science and religion over? Was what it was supposed to be. What happened? We got in trouble. All right. Is the war between science and religion over? Well, let's find out. Published in The Humanist. Wow, June 1986. But anyway, a version of this essay. Now, it appears to be a widely accepted opinion in America that a long conflict, and it is a conflict, I'm telling you, it is a serious conflict, still, between science and religion is at an end. That was in 1986? No. It is often assumed that science and religion are two non-conflicting bodies of knowledge, equally valuable, complementary paths leading toward an ultimate understanding of the world and our place in it. Where the hell does this guy live? The conflicts of the past are said to be due to excessive zeal and misunderstanding on both sides. Peaceful coexistence and even a measure of synchronicity or syncretism are assumed to be possible as long as each concedes to the other's authorities in their separate worlds of knowledge. Well, I'm a materialist. I'm not going outside of my world of knowledge or anyone's world of knowledge. I display exactly the evidence to support everything I say. I'm not making any hypothesis that I can't stand behind. So they're saying that it's you have to be peacefully coexisting by bowing down to each other's worlds. All right, so if you say, well, no, this is my world, you have to accept it. Well, maybe yes, maybe no. A matter of facts for science and that of spirit and values for religion. No, I say religion and science are mutually identical. Let us be blunt. While it may appear open-minded, modest, and comforting to many, this conciliatory view is nonsense. I agree 100%. Science and religion are dramatically opposed at their deepest philosophical level. True colors, your true colors. And because the two worldviews make claims to the same intellectual territory, and I do, I am trespassing into their territory because I was forced to, not because I chose to. Exactly what Velikovsky said. He said, I came with knowledge and they forced me to trespass. Same with me. So the two worldviews make claims to the same knowledge. Yes, absolutely. And that of the origin of the universe and humankind's relationship to it. Conflict is inevitable. 100% true. All right, it's a little long article, but this is the article. It's called, Is the War Between Science and Religion Over? American Humanist Association. Good without a God. Well, maybe if that's your view, that's fine. But I don't think it's going to work all that well for you. So I'm going to leave it at that. Vayos con Dios amigo. I think I have selected God as the good part of everything. Because you're going to die, my friend. I'm going to die. You're going to die. Everybody's going to die. Case is closed on that. And hopefully it won't be too discomforting because, hopefully I'll move on to what I hope to achieve based on what I do in this life. I think this is the test. These things are for you to see and for others as a test. That's the exact message I got. Good luck, amigos.